With a change in new government and change in policy and a cut in spending and perhaps jobs being put at risk, organisations are under increasing pressure to ensure that their bottom line results continue to improve. Within the learning and development industry, we are under similar pressures to ensure that our workforce is skilled. And recently we conducted at Thales Training Consultancy a piece of research which looked at organisations' drivers in terms of employee engagement. 80% of organisations stated that employee engagement was critical to their organisation. However, half of those people then also stated that cost cutting was a major priority in the learning and development arena. So today we've come together, invited a group of industry experts in learning and development to talk about some key issues. Those key issues are around outsourcing and the rules that should be applied should you take that decision to outsource some L&D interventions, and also, more importantly, the link between employee engagement and learning and development, and how we can ensure that we're delivering our learning and development interventions into the organisations, perhaps when we're faced with budget cuts and some uncertain economic times.
Investing in employees' learning and development is so important in the current climate because from an employer's point of view, we need to upskill the current workforce to meet the demands that the new economic climate gives us. Also, of course, there's an element of wanting to keep your best people on side as well, and so retention is a key issue. From the employee's point of view, it's really important because they are really interested in their employability during these difficult times as well. It won't be difficult times forever, an upturn will come. Businesses can measure the success of their learning and development interventions really through how well they set their learning and development objectives up front. Really, that's the only way in which you can do it. If you're absolutely crystal clear about what the outcomes are you're aiming for in your learning and development, then you can measure it against those, and typically we'll work with our customers to scope those out right up front.
Learning and development has to be present at board level to ensure people understand, one, why are we spending this money, but two, what are measures we're putting in place to ensure that L&D interventions are then supporting strategic messages, strategic priorities in the organisation. Without that, it's just an overhead. So it's that alignment, it's how it will contribute and how it will ultimately support the organisation moving forward. My top tip to anyone considering outsourcing L&D to an external organisation would probably be, it's got to be a true partnership. For it to be successful, it has to be a true partnership, because otherwise you're letting someone come in once in a while, deliver some services, but not truly understand what's going on in your organisation and therefore not support you or add any value to the partnership. So there's got to be an understanding of, one, what is being outsourced, and two, that partnership being managed actively for the duration of the partnership.
I think for the employee, any investment in their professional development is just going to ensure that they may remain more motivated, they're able to stay with the organisation and take advantage of career opportunities, and generally become more employable, whether it's in the internal marketplace or in the external marketplace. And hopefully as well enjoy greater job satisfaction by their enhanced ability to do their jobs. For the employer, they're able to retain a valued member of staff in whom the investment has been made. They're able to undertake career succession planning for that individual, and hopefully retain them for as long as they're able to remain with the business and continue to add value to that business itself. My top tip for outsourcing learning and development would be to research the market well for the outsource provider, and to ensure that you select a provider that not only has an established track record, but whom there is an emotional affinity with, because you're likely to be in partnership together for a number of years, and the more you can prepare and research and get right at the beginning will only benefit and work to the benefit of both parties going forward and into the future.
Learning and development is absolutely crucial in this economic climate, partly because you need to retain your talent, you need to upskill your people ready for the upturn, you need to engage your people so that they are motivated, and above all it is critical, I think, to business success. So you must have people in the right places and with the right skill set and the right knowledge so that you can provide a first-class service to your clients. In this whole outsourcing piece, I think one of the critical things for medium-sized organisations is probably, and I think that this is a real tip that they can take forward, is to network and to find organisations that perhaps have a similar training, development or learning need.